Yo, hey yo, I been in the trenches, seen dudes fall in the trenches, seen blood spill in the ditches. What up, y'all? This is James Parker again with Truth in the Trenches. We have another guest with us. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, I'm Dominique. I don't know what else you want me to say.
She got a little nerves, but we're gonna get through it. So I'm happy you're here.
Thank you for having me.
And then I want to start off with saying congratulations. Just got your master's, right?
Yes, master's in interior architecture and design.
I can't say that. Say it again.
Interior architecture and design. So
All right,
pretty
cool.
much interior design.
That's what's up. Congratulations.
Thank
Like I
you, thank
said,
you.
I think we need more, not just African Americans, more African American women out there getting their degrees and all that.
Yeah, I agree.
But y'all don't know is she also is kind of a trained killer. She's in the military, right?
Yes, Air Force for 14 years now.
14?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep, just made 14.
All right, cool. So Air Force, right?
Yes.
Okay, how was that? The 14 years.
It was a journey. I would say it's still a journey. So initially, I was always told you have to go to college. It wasn't an option. College wasn't an option for me. You had to go to college after high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got into 12 or 15 colleges, but I didn't get any scholarships. And so when we started applying, and I'm the first or the oldest out of 3 children. And my mother, when she seen the prices, she was like, I don't know how we gonna do this. So we initially had planned for me to go to Norfolk University, which is in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how we got the prices mixed up, but somewhere in there we found out it was double than what we really thought. And she was like, you guys go to community college for a few years and then maybe you can, transfer. And I did that. I took the community college route, but I was scared of loans just based on what school told you and all that. It just frightened me to take out a loan. So I was like, I need to figure out how I'm gonna go to college, who's gonna pay for it. Because I knew my mom wasn't and I didn't want to. And so that's when I started looking into the military. So initially I had went active duty Navy. I had enlisted and then
Active duty Navy?
Yeah, right out of high school.
I don't know the military. Navy's the water, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I got it.
Navy is the water. So right out of high school, 17 years old, I went and looked into it and it was 4 years for a medical position. And I just got terrified. I pulled out and I didn't go. So I ended up going to community college for 2 years. After those 2 years, that's when I joined the Air Force at 19.
Okay. So college route?
Yes.
Too expensive.
Yes.
Then you found the school and found out it was double what you thought.
Yes.
So you said, let me go play in the water in the Navy.
Yes. I never actually went to their boot camp or anything like that. But I just sworn in and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do active duty.
Okay. What was the motivation for the Navy? Was it just not getting in college because you got in, just no scholarships?
Yeah.
Was it you had to do something or was it an interest?
It really was. It wasn't an interest at all. I never thought about joining the military in my entire life until college came up. And I knew they would help with paying for college. Mm-hmm. And then it was the option to travel. And I wanted to travel so bad. So those 2 things combined, I was like, let's do it.
All right. So I know women like to travel. So.
Yeah. Yes, I do for sure.
That's cool. And it worked out.
It worked out. So, once I joined the Air Force, my parents didn't even know that I was interested or I went back and inquired. So I came home one day and I'm like, yeah, my boot camp day is this day. And they're like, wait, what?
Oh, you ain't tell them?
No, I just went. I had a car. I just went. And so they were like, okay. And so we got it all together. I went to boot camp, which was an experience. So going into boot camp, it's rough. My mom, she didn't really yell at me and cuss me out. Like, that's not the type of environment I grew up in. Yeah. So to be yelled at and screamed at every single day, that was real rough for me. Like, I would be crying at night. For like the first 2 weeks, I cried every single night. I didn't let nobody hear me cry. It wasn't a boo-hoo, but I would be bawling my eyes out just silently. Thinking if I got myself in the right position, did I make the right choice? Like, is it worth it? Mm-hmm. And I can specifically remember being teased for being an African-American girl with an afro. I had...
in the Navy?
In the Air Force.
Oh,
so when I went to boot camp, I wore my hair I probably had some braids and I took my braids out. It was over 8 weeks. So took my braids out and I had to wear my natural hair and in the afro. So the hats didn't fit. You had to wear a hat every time you're outside. Those didn't fit. And it just was like a thing. And I remember specifically this one white MTI, and MTI is military training instructor. And he would just be making fun of me. And I had at that time a black military instructor and he shut it down as soon as he would hear it. Like any teasing he heard in regards to my hair, he would shut it down. And so
that's what's up. Salute to whoever he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was cool. He left though, like a few days after that. So then I was stuck with a female instructor. And that's when I learned like females in corporate are a lot, or I guess you can say it's corporate, but females in power are a lot different than males in power. From my experience, I find that you have a lot more coaching and a lot more catering from the males than you have from the females. And so that specific experience is like my first exposure to, I would say, gender discrimination.
Yeah. So you feel like with the women in charge, what was it again? You said?
Military training instructor.
Yeah. As far as a female being the instructor, what was the experience again?
She was just very, I guess, like trying to prove that.
Yeah. Okay.
She had the power, or like they cuss at you, they say all kind of stuff to you, make fun of you, publicly humiliate you in front of everybody. And I think she just had to overdo it, just had to like show her strength. And it was never that serious,
You opened up the conversation. So now I feel like I'll respond. But I've noticed that with women in positions of power, I've always noticed where, at least I feel, and it could be my biases as a guy having a female who can tell me what to do. But I've always felt like they kind of went a little further. And I remember being younger thinking women shouldn't be in power because they be tripping. And then I had to sit back and say, well, a woman being in power, a lot of times everybody wants them to fail because nobody really wants to see a woman in power. And the pressure they have to deal with to where if they're not tough enough, then they say women can't because they don't know how to be tough.
Yeah.
So I can see where they have to be tough.
Yeah, that makes sense because she was a little.
But then you got some who are just like hardcore people.
Yeah, we was her first training flight, so maybe she did have to prove herself and prove that she was tough enough to do the job, and she didn't break under certain circumstances. Maybe that was the case. I don't know, but that was just a really interesting experience. And then moving forward in my career, I started encountering more African American women in power, and less feisty, more of like a mentorship relationship is how it began to develop and got through. And so I would say, looking back on my career now, I've definitely valued what the military has done for me. I don't really necessarily want my children to join the military. Like, I don't feel like it needs to be a family chain. If I did it, they do it. But what it's done for me has been very beneficial for my family. So I appreciate that. And I think I'm going to continue on for 20 years.
Why not? You get to travel. And
school.
Yeah. And what does it maybe pension. One day be that, what the letters you said?
MTI.
MTI.
I don't think my family would appreciate me being an MTI.
Oh, for real?
No.
Is it more being away from the house more?
Yes.
The way you say yes says it's like
they're kind of like your children. You have to go make sure they're not being disobedient, and you got to leave your house and do pop-ups and stuff like that. So. And it's in a whole nother state. You have to do it at our basic training facility, which is in Lackland, Texas. And so that would be requiring me to uproot my family and do all that.
Yeah, that'd be a lot. Yeah. And as far as your family, I'm bad. How many kids?
Ooh, don't do that to me. Ooh, yes, I just have my fourth. So I have 2 sons that are older. And now 2 daughters, and they're the babies.
Okay. To do 2 daughters, the babies, and the 2 boys.
Yes.
Okay, and I know football.
Yes.
So.
I'm a football mom.
Strong. Well, you was in the military, so you can handle it.
You know what? When I became a mom, and my son was first, I never ever thought of sports. Like that wasn't something on my mind. It was just like being a good mom, and we'll see where that takes me. And now that he's in sports, I'm just like, whoa, I never envisioned that for him, but he loves it and I love it for him. So here we are.
That's cool. And we're going to start with your first son.
Okay.
Cameron was having a conversation of, I think you was a single mom at first, correct?
Yes. So I was a single mom for the first 4 years of my son's life, and he's currently 13.
Okay. Now, was this during the time where you traveling a lot with the military or?
No. The first 4 years. So I got pregnant with my son immediately after coming back home from tech school. So we go to basic training and then we go to tech school to learn our job. And I came back in like October. I was pregnant that November. And so my whole military career, he kind of grew up with me being in the military. He knows nothing else other than me being in the military. But at that time I wasn't traveling. I was a new airman. I may have like been to another state or two, but it wasn't nothing serious or heavy like that.
Okay, so it wasn't like what they consider the military kid where they're always
military brat. No, he doesn't have that title.
Okay, so you had the military, you came home, end up getting pregnant. And were you raising them for the 4 years solo or?
So the relationship with my son's biological dad was, I would say for the most part, it was solely on me. He would pop in and out when it was convenient for him.
Oh, so a single mom.
Yes.
We can just get, we know that story.
Yes. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so I got to ask, being a single mom, having a little boy, that's a big debate in the world about single moms raising boys and da-da-da. So.
For the record, I believe that boys need a dad. I don't believe that the mom can be the dad. I don't believe in Happy Father's Day to the mom. She been doing everything. She the dad and the mom. No, I'm the mom and that's it.
I respect moms who have to do that.
Yeah.
But I would never say Happy Father's Day. Because, and not in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
I will give you doubles Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But you're not.
You're not the father. And you never can.
Yeah.
You never will be.
Because at one point when I was raising my niece, it would have been weird for somebody to say Happy Mother's Day. Like, that's not my role.
Yes, but they do it for the women. Happy Father's Day, sis.
Yeah. So what you saying, you believe, a little boy needs a dad or a father figure, some type of male role model.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to let you speak on that because a lot of women going to say, no, I did it myself. I did it. But you actually. Yeah. So why your experience raising them by yourself?
So I didn't know anything else other than to raise him as a single mom. I didn't have I had my dad in my life. I grew up with a dad, so I know what that's like to have a dad in the house, but I didn't initially see nothing wrong with it. It didn't really cross my mind until, okay, he actually do need a dad, until I got in my current relationship. And this one experience is so funny, but he always reminds me of it, is I potty train my son and I potty train him to sit down. That's the best way. That's what I knew, I knew guys stood up, but at the same time, I'm not a guy. So why would I teach him? I don't know. I just didn't think to make him stand up. You was really
teaching him to sit down?
Yeah. Sit on his toilet, boy. Yeah. So one day we were at a restaurant and my boyfriend took my son to the bathroom. We were fresh. I don't know why. I think my son just gravitated to him, but he took him to the bathroom and he seen that he was standing up. And so he comes out and he's laughing. What's so funny? And so he's like, why is he standing up? He was sitting down. He's like, why is he sitting down? I don't know. It didn't dawn on me that I need to stand up. And that's when just little things like that, just started to come into perspective. And I was like, wow, he needs a male figure. These things that are natural to a male are not natural to me. And I would never, ever have the perspective, the logic of a male, or anything that a male provides. And so he needs that in order to continue to grow and develop into a man.
Yeah. And I agree. Not in a way to slight any women who have to do it.
Not at
but
all.
I definitely agree. And like I always said, realistically, they need both.
Yes.
They need a mother figure. They need a father figure. In my opinion, the women I've always seen in my life, to me, always been more emotional, especially with their kids. And can't blame them. You have a little baby boy or girl growing in you for 9 months. So I always say there's a connection there that a guy can never experience.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I'll just say his name. I was trying not to say his name, but Xavier would be like, I didn't meet my first child until I was 4. And it's like, I definitely I agree with you. You have this experience with these children. Well, you're pregnant with them, so you carrying them. And the dad doesn't. He doesn't meet the child until it's born and then try to learn and catch up to where you are. And I don't know if that's even a thing, if a dad can catch up.
Nah, we don't. Cause if we caught up, then I think it'd kind of stricken the father role. Because, like I said, I think a mom carrying a kid for 9 months, when the baby's born, there's a different kind of bond. The different, I don't want my kid to hurt. I don't want them to suffer. And we don't have that. So it's like, he needs to bump his head every now and then. He needs to fall off the couch if he's doing this.
Yeah.
So I think it is a balance, because I think sometimes guys can go too far with trying to make them too tough. And then women can kind of, in my opinion,
make them too soft.
But if you have to pick one in this world, any boy, especially but a black boy, you need to be a little tougher. So you can't be sitting down peeing and stuff like that. That's not going to go well when you get 15, 16 years old.
Right. In the high school bathroom, sitting down. Yeah. So thank you for his dad, because
I appreciate you, Xavier, man.
No, for real.
So, and with that, and this is a question I've asked people in the past, single moms who, get into a relationship and now they have to trust somebody else with their sole possession. So how would that transition?
I would say me and Xavier have a really unique story versus a lot of other single moms. We are what a lot of people would call high school sweethearts. We didn't continue to date, obviously, throughout our high school and college and adult years. But we had a really good bond starting in high school, dated a little bit in college, I think until our second year. And then we broke up. And then that's when I moved on, had a child. And then 10 years later, from the time in which we broke up, we got back together. And so we kind of already had a foundation. And so I didn't have that anxiety with him that I probably would have had with somebody else. I trusted him, and I was in my mind at that time a young woman, but I was just thinking we'd pick up where we left off and things of that nature. And that's not necessarily what happened, but it really didn't. I was able to let go of all like trust issues with him and my child.
Okay, so because y'all had so much history, you kind of knew who he was. When he stepped in, it was just easy to step back and...
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
What about the other parts that's not the most part?
I'm trying to think of another time in which I was so... For me, I'm trying to think of like a time in which I was like, I don't really like this, but I can't...
If you say you can't think of that, I'm going to say, what they say nowadays? Cap.
The only time that really comes to my mind that stands out a lot is when Caleb called him dad for the very first time. He thought I had put him up to it to like, I had secretly told him, call him dad. And that was never the case. He just like called him dad out the blue one day, and we looked at each other, and I was shocked, but I was seeing how he would respond, and he just went along with it. He didn't tell him, no, I'm not your dad or anything like that. He just went along with it, and it was dad ever since. So that was That's dope. Yeah, that was probably the biggest imprint I have in my mind, with how he handled Caleb, I can't really think of.
I think that had to be a
much.
good feeling.
It was shaky. Honestly, because it was like, okay, so if this is who my son sees as dad, then what does that mean for us? And
what you mean?
I don't know if we didn't get in it like, oh, we're gonna get married. You know, anything we were
for
dating.
Your relationship.
Yeah. So like
that
now my son
made it, he made your relationship get deeper before y'all actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna talk about what's gonna happen with his biological.
Oh.
I thought maybe when that happened, having to deal with
the
other side.
His biological dad knew of him and he was jealous of him. Just because I always had so much love for him. We were best friends before we became in a relationship.
Was he jealous because that was the guy that was always in the back of your mind?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys can sense that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And he was like, you said you did this for him and you don't even do that for me. And it's like, okay, whatever. So that type of conversation was brought up. And then once we got back together and he was in the picture, he was a little pissed off.
Was it one of those, I knew it?
No, he never said I knew it.
Some guys can get their little feelings too.
He definitely got in his feelings. And he would, make little remarks, especially when me and Xavier had a kid together. He made a comment. He wished me and him would get back together and he was willing to take care of me and Xavier's kid. And I just thought that was crazy, but he would just make comments, never really about our child. He would make comments more so about the relationship. And that's how I knew, like, okay, you're not interested in being a parent to your child. You're more interested in what's going on in my life. And because of that, we just haven't been able to get on one accord.
Yeah. I know a lot of guys who does that. Never made sense to me.
Me neither.
Because in my mind, even if I'm interested in somebody, I think getting pregnant by somebody else is like, okay, that door closed.
Yes.
Let me go to another door now, knock on some other doors or something.
Yes. I thought it was weird. And Xavier has even took it upon himself to try to build a relationship with them. So because when I first got back with Xavier, we had a supervised visitation plan. And so Xavier took it on himself to forego that plan, put it in the back because it was with the court system and everything of that nature, put it in the back and then, set up arrangements and he would be the supervised personnel.
Okay.
And he didn't appreciate that. He didn't want that. He didn't want him involved at all. And so it just never happened.
I get that. Not saying I'm going to call him X-Man because, I don't know the dude name.
Yeah.
Not Xavier, but X-Man. So right. I can understand, in that situation, not wanting to have his visits with his biological son, watched over by the next guy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if his intentions isn't really about his kid and it's about you, then I also understand like the guy in your life, like if you both got to be there or I have to do it.
Yeah.
And also building that relationship because at the end of the day, if he's in your life and that's the dad, there has to be some type of relationship built between them two or it actually only one gets scarred is the kid.
Yep. Yeah, so he definitely tried and it was a no-go. I mean, I guess when you put it that way, I can understand how that might be. But he had his opportunity to set up visitations with who he wanted it. Yeah. And we tried it. And every single time after the visitation, he had to come and talk to me. I love you. I wrote you a note. I want to talk to you. And it's like, I'm not here for you no more. I moved on. It's been years. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, see, in that, if I'm Xavier in that position, ain't no way in the world you're going by yourself. Because it's going to be a conflict anyway, because he's going to try this. And being the man of your life, you have to respond to that.
Yeah.
So just let's nip that by. Hopefully, both of y'all, but if not, I think him going there kind of draws that line, the boundaries.
Yeah.
So during that time, I can imagine there had to be a strain on your family unit.
I think the strain came in which, so my son's biological dad is very manipulative. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the strain came in. He would be messaging Xavier. They would be having a conversation I know nothing about. Yeah. I don't care, whatever. But then he would come back and be like, oh, this is why he said this. This is why I'm going to go do this. This is why, like, wait, whoa, what's going on? You know, he would use it for ammo. And then I would go back and be like, hey, is this going on? Like, what's the point of this? And he'd be like, that wasn't, yes, this is happening, but that's not the end result. And so that is where the strain came. And eventually it just died down. It would die down. We would be cool. We wouldn't hear from him for months, years, buy back up. Yeah. Hey, I want to see him. I want to do this. And it just a repetitive cycle for years. And I probably would say it's been about maybe a year since we heard from him.
Okay. So it's about that time again?
Yeah, it's about that time again. Gotta get prepared, yeah. Uh-huh. But now I think me and Xavier are at a place where when he contacts me, the son that I have with him, or Xavier, we all can laugh. Like, all right, what we gonna do now? What he's saying now? And it's like, okay, whatever. So we finally are at a place where it's comical, and he can see now that I wasn't trying to be malicious in my attempts to not even deal with him, because it had got to the point where he would message me and I just ignore him. Yeah. Or, hey, you got to email me because you're constantly running back and forth to the court and I need all this on the record. So just email me. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. And so I think doing that, it can come off as, oh, you're not trying hard enough to build a relationship with them. And it's like, no, I've tried so many times and I'm just over it. Like I'm at the point where if we're going to go through the courts, cool, but I got all the documentation for it. And if you want to be in his life, you'll do what you need to do. But you haven't shown me that. And so now I just don't care. Yeah. And so, and that's the point I'm at now. Like, it's whatever.
Okay. I know that had to suck for not just you and your relationship, but it had to suck for your little one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said the kid, that's the one who gets hurt in these situations where you get your hopes up, and any kid, they always have that yearning for, their dad or their mom, or not having the questions answered, the whys and stuff.
He doesn't speak much about it, but honestly, his situation is a lot how I grew up. So the person I call my dad is not my biological dad, but he's been in my life since I was 18 months. Okay. So he's my dad. He did everything for me, took care of me, all the stuff that a dad does, he was there for. Okay. And so my biological dad, in and out of prison and just living his life on his terms. And so there were times in which he would tell me, call me on the phone, hey, I'm on the way to pick you up. And my mom does my hair, I get dressed, I'm looking out the window, and just nothing, not a call, hey, I'm not coming, and nothing.
That's your bio dad?
Yeah, my biological dad. Okay. He just wouldn't show up. And so for Caleb, I didn't want the same scenario. So even if he did have something planned, I wouldn't tell him until it actually came into fruition. Like, he's physically here. Hey, this is what's going on. Because I just didn't, that experience for me, like being let down like that bothered me growing up. Even though I had my dad who was physically present, being told that I'm going to go do something and just not to show up. And then you call me. When you call me, you don't even speak about it. We just act like it never happened. Like, that was wild to me. And thinking about it for my son, like, I just wouldn't want nobody playing with him like that. Like, I know my mom, she tried her hardest to protect me from it. And it was the person that I call my dad, who's not my biological dad. Mm-hmm. It was him who was like, no, she needs to know who her biological father is. And if, they build a relationship, but she should know. And so they told me when I was 7 years old that, hey, this is not your dad. And started to go to visits with him. And honestly, I would be so sad to go to them visits because I didn't know him. And I would see my family.
You didn't know till 7?
Till I was 7.
Okay.
So I grew up with my dad, thinking that was my dad. I had a brother and a sister. Well, at the time I had a brother. And I didn't know no different.
Oh, how did it feel when they finally told you that the guy that you think is your bio dad isn't?
That was a long time ago. So I could imagine it was probably a little confusing. There's a little interest, like, okay, well, who is, And so I can vividly remember one time it was time for me to go on a visit with him. And so we would meet at a common location. My family would drop me off. I would spend hours with him and then they'd come back and pick me up.
Yeah.
And I can remember he used to always want to buy me shoes. We got to go to the shoe store first and buy a pair of Jordans and then go home or go whatever else he had planned. So this one particular time we went in, we bought the shoes, and I can remember being in the back of the car and just crying, like trying to wipe my tears as fast as I can. So he didn't see me crying, but just that separation. This is my family that I'm leaving, and I know that this is my dad, but it just feels so awkward to be with him and like leaving my family. And so those are the type of feelings I had more so than anything. And then as I got older and we tried to develop our own relationship, like I said, he was telling me he was going to come and then not show up. And that really bothered me. And so for my son, I just didn't want the same thing to happen to him. Like if I knew for sure his biological father was a stand-up guy, when he said he was coming, and all of that stuff, I wouldn't have had an issue with it. But that wasn't his MO, and it still hasn't been.
Yeah, that sucks. So sucks for y'all. I always say, I work with kids. It always sucks for the little one.
Yeah.
But it sounds like y'all making the right decision to, try to protect them from as much of that pain as possible.
Yeah, I'm more than willing to have a conversation with him. I ask him all the time, like, do you have any questions? Do you want to know stuff? Do you want to talk to him? And he always says no, but I don't really know what's in his head. So until he tells me, I don't even want to start the conversation to try to bring him around because I don't know.
I think that conversation probably is going to go with Xavier.
You think so?
That's that. Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that happening just because you're attached to it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times his voice might be like, you don't have the emotional ties to all that. So
yeah. Only time will tell.
Yeah. Well, and since little man, 3 more?
3 more.
4 kids, just got a master's.
Yes.
Train killer.
A little bit.
So you got to manage a lot.
Yes.
If you tell me it's easy, we're going to end the show because I know you lying. So
don't cut me off. No. It's not easy. It's not easy. But one thing I will say, and I stand on this, I don't believe in balance. I don't think I can have or spend the same amount of time on anything in my life. It's just always going to be maybe this weekend I'm with the kids or the family more. This weekend I'm in business more. It's just always an unbalanced thing. And I've grown to be okay with I'm not always leveled out in all areas of my life.
Okay, so you don't believe in balance.
I don't.
It sounds like you kind of go with the flow of how it's going to go.
No, I try to plan as much as I can, but I understand that I can't do it all at once. And so that's just what it is. Like I accept that for what it is and move forward.
How did the family accept that?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
See, we gonna end and we gonna go.
That's a tough one. I remember when I deployed in 2022. And so went overseas and I was supposed to be there for 6 months. I found out I was pregnant when I was there with me and Xavier's second child. And so that required me to come home early. But when I came home, my son told me, don't you ever leave me again. I don't want to be left no more. And I was just like, whoa, I didn't think it meant anything to him. Like I'm leaving, but I'm come back. And it's kind of always been maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks most that I would be gone from him. And so this time it was 4 months and he was like, don't you do that no more. And so it really hit me like, wow, okay. It matters to him when I leave. And then of course, Xavier, he hated.
I think any guy who, lady is leaving and there's 4 kids.
Well, it wasn't 4 when I left.
Oh, 3?
It was 2.
2, 1. It's different.
Yeah, I don't okay. So in my mind, when I tell him, like this last time I left to Hawaii, I just came back from Hawaii after being there for 2 weeks. I was initially supposed to go to Italy, and I'm gonna tell you, I was so nervous to tell him. So I need to talk to you in person. He's like, "What is it about? What's going on?" And so when I got home, I was like, "I'm going to Italy," and he was like, "Oh, it's cool, it's cool." So I go on his Facebook, and he talk about how heartbroken he is that I'm leaving to Italy, but he didn't tell me that.
He was trying to be strong for you.
Yeah, he didn't tell me that, but I know. Well, I can't say I know because a lot of times I feel like it don't matter to him. Like if I leave, he gonna be cool. You know, like you be all right. You got.
See, this is my question. Now we can get going now. Why would you think
that he would be okay?
That he's gonna be okay with you leaving?
I'm coming back. I don't know. And maybe
I'm gonna tell you how a guy mind goes sometimes. Okay.
Okay, tell me.
A lot of guys ain't gonna say it, but this is how our minds go. Especially military. Mm-hmm. Leaving for the military. Mm-hmm. Hawaii, Italy, all these countries. Mm-hmm. And then we watch movies. Mm-hmm. Most times when people leave the countries and stuff, what's that rule? If it happened out of state, it don't count. Or if it happened, you know what I'm talking about. If it
happened there, it stays there.
Yeah. Why, guys and females, they don't want their guy or female to go to Vegas with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to leave out the country, then you probably around all these in shape, buff, military gun people.
Military gun people?
I don't know what they call them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I remember, I'm just saying, because we're friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, she on vacation. I would say this don't look like
work.
This don't look like work. So I'm like,
I definitely was at work. I definitely was at work. I think a lot of people think that, but we had a freedom to go to work, and then when you off work, you're on your time.
Oh, okay. And that's what we're scared of.
I can get that, but I think the me thinking he's going to be okay, I think it actually comes from me being okay alone. And so I don't say that to say like if he was, to disappear, I would be okay with that. No, but if you were to leave for a few days, okay, I know how to hold it down. I'll be all right. And so I just think like in my mind, you'd be all right too. I'm leave and I'm come back. You'd be all right. And everything that you need is here. You'll be sad. I'm be sad, but.
So he was leaving all the time.
If he left all the time, I don't know.
Your face says enough for me. And there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't think anybody want to see their significant other gone for so much time.
How much time is so much?
That depends on your relationship. Some people, a day, 2 days is a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know if it's me and there's 2, 3, 4 kids. Oof.
I can understand the 4 kids. Like when I went to Hawaii.
And they little.
I actually felt guilty. Like, man, I feel bad that he's there with, all the kids by himself. I did feel bad. But in the previous times when I went to like deploy, in my mind, I have a mission. Like I'm here to get something and I need to go get it. So I have to go. So it doesn't really, it didn't bother me as much. You have 2 kids, you'll be okay. But the 4 for sure, I definitely felt like, yeah.
So you felt bad.
I did feel
kind
bad.
Of that
a lot of
guilty
stuff.
Pleasure. I'm leaving them, but I'm going to Hawaii and possibly Italy.
Yeah. And I'm eating out and I'm on the beach and, just like you feel bad. Like, am I doing something wrong? But I am at work. I'm working throughout the day and then after work is when I'm doing this. So.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, you don't believe in balance.
I don't.
How do you manage it all? Because you don't believe in the balance. It sounds like your little one definitely wants some balance. I'm going to guess Xavier or anybody who have to stay back with 3 or 4 kids would like a little balance. So when you come back, how do you manage all of that on top of a career? When
I came back, I think the thing that comes on my mind, or is on my mind when I'm touching back on American soil is I need to step in. I need to help as much as possible. You've been doing all this for whether it's 4 months, 6 months, 2 weeks, all by yourself.
Yeah.
Let me help. And so when I first came home, anything, dishes, cleaning up, if I got to step in and cook, pick the kids up, I'm gonna go do it because you haven't had no time to yourself, and I know what that's like. So I think just trying to see what is the priority at the moment is how I manage, and what can be done in a few days will get to the back burner and get done initially, but stepping in and figuring out the priority for that day to move on to the next day is my mindset.
Okay. And that's pretty cool. I'm guessing it works most of the time.
You had to ask him. I don't know how he, like, I don't know if he thinks it works or if that's a good plan to him. I just see it as my plan, and it never got discussed. Like, this ain't working. It's just like,
okay, so we just opened up another part of this conversation. So you don't believe in balancing things. Mm-hmm. That was your decision. Mm-hmm. And you don't know if this thing is working. Mm-hmm. That was your decision. Mm-hmm. You didn't ask him.
True.
You see what I'm saying?
But he also didn't mention it. So it's like you're not bringing it up saying that, hey, when you come home, this is what I need. You're not saying that. I'm just jumping in and doing what I see or what I think you need, what I think I would need if I was in your shoes, and moving on like that. Now, if he said like, hey, we need to do this or move in that direction, okay, I'll figure out how to make it work. But he's never really said much of anything like that. He's vocalized, I don't like you leaving, but I'm in the military. That's what I signed up for. So at some point I am going to have to leave. Yeah. So I feel like that part I can't avoid. I can tell you this is when I'm leaving, and we can have a knowledge of how to prepare for it, but I can't stop leaving. That's just what I signed up for. And I got a few more years until I can get out.
That's true. And if I'm going to Italy and Hawaii and all that, I'm not getting out. I'm going to milk that for everything. I'm going to milk it for everything I can get.
And he can come. There was a time in which I had to go to Vegas, and the whole family went. We all came to Vegas together. They stayed with me. And when I was at work, they sat at the hotel. When I got off of work, we went out and hung out in Vegas. My kids was there. So they can come. It's just, we need to plan for it. And so sometimes with the military, they'll tell you you're going one place, and then, like, for example, you're going to Italy. A month later, you're going to Hawaii. And it's like, whoa, I was never intending for my family to go with me to Italy because we just wasn't in that mindset. And now you're telling me they can come to Hawaii. I probably could have figured it out, but it's so late that now I'm not bringing them, So those are the kind of things that we're faced with. But if it was something closer, like on the mainland in the U.S., then we probably could have figured it out. And I'm open to them coming. If that's, if that's when
y'all
works.
can come me to Texas, y'all can't go to me to Spain. That's what we said.
Y'all can come. It's just more expensive.
That's the part.
Way more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about y'all relationship.
Okay.
Only because there was 2 incidents where it sounded like you made the decisions, and then you say, well, he never says anything. He never says anything.
Now I'm gonna have to go back home and ask him, like, man.
Yeah, my question is, in relationships, we all have our ups and downs. Mm-hmm. When you have 2 people, 2 different worlds, 2 different mindsets, it's always trying to find a balance. The word balance in that relationship to where, everybody's, they're not getting everything they want, but everybody's heard, valid, and always working towards, being more on the same accord, being one.
Yeah.
So when y'all do have those times, I say because you're busy. You're real busy. A lot on your plate. Even that master's program, I know that had to take a toll because as I'm finishing up a program, and I know how much time it can take away from everything.
I got to be honest. I think in that aspect, Xavier was really patient. When I look back on it, I would be up in the morning, like 8 o'clock, and working on homework, going to class, sitting at the front kitchen table, and he will want me to come and like, hey, you can come to bed now. And I'm like, no, I can't. I still have homework. And I wouldn't go to bed. I would. So for example, 8 o'clock to 8 p.m., be doing homework. I may do something around the house and then get back to homework. So now it's midnight. We're going into the next morning. I got to be to work at 9 o'clock. I never went to sleep. I never went and got into bed. And then I go to work and then I come back home and I get back on the computer. And he was patient. You know, he didn't cause a scene. He just would gently say, hey, I miss you. Hey, I wish you would come lay down, or I'll be done. I'll be happy when you're done with your homework. You know, things like that. And so I can say I appreciate that because, and maybe looking back on it, I may have even took it for granted because he didn't speak on it aggressively. And I'm not saying aggressive like he had to yell at me, but he didn't make a scene. And so therefore I just did all I could at that time. I felt like I had to finish this homework or else I would get a bad grade, and I'm paying for school. The military didn't pay for 100%. So a portion of it is a loan, and I need to make sure that I'm getting the most out of it. So I sat at the table and our relationship suffered, you know, in that aspect.
I can see that. I'm happy it survived it. Cause y'all still going strong.
Yeah.
And all right, it's cool. But it also sounds like he, like I said, because it wasn't as aggressive or the word assertive. Mm-hmm. I remember you were saying earlier that, you know, he don't say nothing.
Yeah.
But it looked like he does. It probably comes, how do I explain it? I think in general, a lot of times guys are loud. Mm-hmm. You ain't giving me this. You're not da-da-da, da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And I think people expect that. Mm-hmm. But then when you get the total opposite, something quite like, you know, I just miss you.
Yeah.
You don't hear it the same because it doesn't have that bark at the end.
That's probably what happened.
But then when we have the bark at the end, you're a trained killer, so it's kind of dangerous. So it's like, then that's when everybody's going up.
Yeah. It's a lot crazy if he would have done that. But man, now you make me want to go home and just ask him some questions, because there were times in which I sometimes be like, I used to say, I wish he could experience what it's like to go to school and have a family, because to me it was stressful. Like getting my bachelor's was easy. I had 2 kids. My son was 6 months when I graduated with my bachelor's, my second son at that. Mm-hmm. He was 6 months when I graduated. That was a breeze for me. I didn't really stress. It was online. I wrote them papers in the middle of the night, went to sleep, but my master's was a lot harder and I was stressed out at all ends. I was stressed out with my kids. I was pregnant when I enrolled, pregnant and had a baby during the master's program. And at the end of the master's program, pregnant and had a baby again. And it's like all in that short time, like I'm not really grasping what's going on in the program because I'm having all this other stuff going on. And so I may have taken it for granted, but I do appreciate him not being aggressive with me because I had so much other stuff going on. I don't know how I would have responded if like now this is up in flames. Yes. I don't know. And so it's a lot to manage.
Yeah. I think, and I definitely hear you. I think in relationships, and not just females, guys.
Yeah.
It's hard to be stressed and think about somebody else. It's the hardest thing to do. People can pretend like it's easy, but it's not. Mm-hmm. When you're stressed, especially to the point like you got so much going on, it's hard to. It's easy to say you don't understand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Hold on, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
All right, y'all, we back. But what I was saying was, when somebody's stressed, you know, we naturally think of ourselves first. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I said, I don't blame anybody, because if I'm stressed about something in that moment, it's what I'm going through. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to say, you don't understand. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they may not understand. But then I also don't understand what the other person is going through while I'm going through what I'm going through. And it's, it's things I think in relationships we got to learn how to do more.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
it's difficult.
it is.
So
it is. I think looking back on it, I'm kind of like a on the go type of person. Like, I need to get this done. I need to get that done. I need to get this done. And it's just like all this stuff. And then I got to come back and I'm like, oh, I do have a family. Oh, like with my kids, I can manage and fit all their stuff in. But when it comes to like really sitting down and think about, okay, I need to actually sit down and give him my undivided attention right now. All right. Like that thought doesn't initially come to me. Like, it's like when I come home, I got to get this done. I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to do that. Oh shoot. I didn't stop to sit down with you. I didn't stop to rub your back. I didn't think about it. I'm trying to get the night over with and lay back down. And so that is something that I think I need to be a lot more considerate about, not even just a little bit.
Yeah. And like I said, it's things we all need to do. Yeah. Like I said, you saying it in that way. And as guys, we do it and it looks different.
Yeah.
Because as a guy, I can see I'm not getting this, you're not doing it, you're not doing this, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting this. And we're thinking about what we're not getting. And then forget, well, she's changing the diaper, making dinner, doing this, work, school. We don't think of all that.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just, as people, we do it.
Yeah.
And it's easy to do. That's why I always try to stress, regardless of what's going on, finding time in between time.
Yeah. I gotta find some time. I feel like I don't have it, but I could find some.
I'll say this. Cat first. Let me just start with that. Cat. I couldn't think of a better word for it. But I will say this, and I say it about myself. If I have time to scroll my social media, I have time to give to somebody. And that's just...
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know, some people believe the kids come first. Some people believe, I ain't gonna say the relationship comes first. Me personally, nobody strike me down for this, but I definitely say the relationship.
Why?
My reason is because how do I say it? If we're happy with each other and giving each other what we need and refueling each other's tank, then we have more gas for everything else.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think then everything else gets easier.
Yeah.
Because if we're on the same page and we're happy, when you're stressing about homework, I'm not stressing about where my time at. So it's easier to say, she's making this time for me, we're happy. So while she's doing that, let me go help her over here. And then the kids see a functioning relationship.
Okay.
Instead of one at the table, frustrated because I got all this stuff on my plate, then the other ones in the other room thinking, why am I the first thing off her plate? You know what I'm saying?
That hurts. That hurts.
I think I don't know another way to say it.
Yeah, that cuts deep. Yeah. I never imagined it, or I never thought of it that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it just, we got 24 hours, but you gotta find time. And like I say, you're a Air Force.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Army. So you're militant. Air Force, not Army. I know people get mad at that.
Yeah.
You're Air Force. My apologies. So I would say you're probably more, probably got more structure. because you have to have structure to survive the Air Force, Army, whatever it is. Like, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So I believe you can structure in time for.
I feel like that's where it's hard because I am structured and my partner is not. And I'm not in any negative connotation, just he's not structured. So when
most guys,
I've asked to go with the flow.
We go with the flow, it's gonna work.
Yeah. And so I've asked, like, we need to do this, because in my mind it just would flow better. But he was like, nah. All right. So now we're trying to like makeshift and like break gas all the time. And it just feels shifty. Like, let's implement a little bit of structure on how we run things. And I think it'd be a little bit smoother. But being that we're opposite in that area is kind of hard. But maybe I could just bring it up again.
That's a tough one. Because as a guy, I want to be like, we're structured, just not as structured as you are. That's how I want to respond. Because there's a science to our madness. Okay. But sometimes we just figure if it falls, as long as we got a strong woman who can pick it up, then we never have to actually realize that it don't work.
Yeah, because it's gonna work.
It's gonna work one way or the other.
Yeah.
So, but no, I believe structure is necessary.
I thrive in structure.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way for me to live out my days. And I try to do it more so when it comes to things that I have to get done and not like the family unit, because I know that we're not the same in that aspect, and I don't want to try to stress him out by implementing all this stuff. But that is the best way for me to thrive.
Yeah. And that's where I think the challenge can be in relationships, but I'm gonna talk about y'all's, is you're militant. Like that's what got you where you at.
Yeah, militant. I've been called nonchalant. He says that to me all the time. Like, you just don't care. I care, but
give an example so I can tell you how nonchalant you are. So I can see.
I'm nonchalant. I've been told that for a lot of things. Like, and I have in the past said I don't care. Like I don't, and it's not that I don't. It's just like, this is not big enough for me to get bent out of shape over. Like,
I like where this conversation is going. I hope I don't get no more pauses.
It's just like, all right.
So, I'm a guy, so that triggered me.
You don't feel like guys are nonchalant?
Yeah, I think we're both are, but you triggered me. So, but
okay.
I only say that because people will say I'm nonchalant. And I know sometimes I am. I just don't want nothing to bother me or drag me off course. If it's not on my course, it don't matter that much. But to be nonchalant, you have to be a little cold. That's what I had to learn.
I don't like this.
You do. You have to.
You do, yeah.
There's a coldness to you because you have to tunnel vision things, which means things doesn't care, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that as well. So, thanks for calling me out because.
No. I agree with you. You are cold. You are cold as a nonchalant person, and just everything that you say, you are tunnel vision when it comes to specific things.
Yeah. So
I can't afford to let this trip me up.
Yeah. And that's in a relationship. In times where you're cold to your person. So, and that's, like I said, I see the face. I'm feeling it inside here for me as well. But I'm learning with people. I don't care if it's, intimate relationships, friendships, whatever it is. Sometimes it gotta matter to me because it matters to them.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I'm learning, where if it matters to you, it matters to me.
Yeah.
it's hard because I can easily say, that don't even make no sense. That's not even worth, why are we even here right now?
Yeah.
But that's my process.
Yeah.
And I can't negate their process and, what they're feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
One thing can make me cry and make the other person say, why? And the same thing that make you cry will make me say, is your tears even worth that?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
we got to work on that. Just think of it this way. Nonchalant means you're cold.
Yeah.
And that means, I don't going to say it means, but it comes across as, I don't care about your feelings right now because it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I've been told that.
So we own to something.
You're right in every aspect. I definitely I want to work on it. I don't want anybody who I care about to feel like I don't care,
Yeah.
And so I do need to be more attentive to that, which requires me to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I have to slow down. I have to be present and listen to what you're saying and not brushing it off.
Yeah. So just talking about this part, because this is, I could add a lot of other questions, but this is huge because this is like one of the things in relationships.
Yeah.
Like I say, it's easy to say if it doesn't affect me, then I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's how do we work on that? How do we work on being emotionally there for people or your person?
Yeah.
When they need it, even if you feel this isn't as important.
Yeah. I think for me, I need to be better at providing my undivided attention.
Mm-hmm.
And what that looks like is even when you say something that is not as important in my mind, I'm still there. Hey, are you okay? How did that make you feel? Asking questions to really dig deeper and understand so I can know how to be present. What do you need from me?
Yeah.
Questions like that. And so a lot of times you can tell me something, and if it's not important to me, I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, that sounds, whatever, and keep going.
This is how I do it.
Yeah, you way more nonchalant than me. I just be like, I try to say something, but it ain't gonna be no follow up. That's dead after that, And so I think just being more present, I could work on that.
One thing I think I've worked on, not gonna lie, it started because I had to with my job, but then I made it a part of my thing, is the active listening.
Okay.
So anybody, hey, what's going on? Even a part of our episode, like not just hearing you. Sometimes I got to reiterate it back, so I know you got my full attention.
Yep.
Like even in the beginning, talking about, okay, so you was, I think it was 3. The schooling, it was too expensive. Then you find in the school, you found out it was double what you thought.
Yeah.
So then you started going the Navy. You did it. You just went. You had a car, so you went. Came back. I'm gonna go. You really didn't want to. Didn't do it, and ended up Air Force.
All that just to get back in the military.
Yeah. So I think in relationships, I think it's important. And honestly, not trying to make this all about the guys, I think sometimes we need that so we know we're being hurt. Just because, Black men in America or guys in relationships, a lot of it, they say they're not being heard. Me personally, a lot of these podcasts, these guys are sensitive to me. I don't really like them because they want to be the man in a relationship, the logical, structured one, but you need to hear our emotions the same as your emotions. And that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I think it is important that a person do know that you're not just listening.
Yeah.
You're actually, grasping it.
Yeah. I'm trying to work on that.
Yeah.
I think I saw it more so with my children more than anything that not all the time, but sometimes they would come home and they'd just be talking about whatever's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was nice. That was cool. This, that, and the third. And they would just walk away and I'd be like, oh shoot. Like we were just talking. What happened? And I realized like I'm not actively engaged in their conversation. And so to them, it's over. So I had to go back. Hey, and what else happened? And so that really struck me. And I started to like pay a little bit more attention. Like, I don't want that. I don't want them to feel like I'm not listening. Even if I am looking at the computer, I need to turn around. All right. What'd you say? Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. Like kids, they could feel it, the body language and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm a victim to that. Mm-hmm. I'm like I said, I'll be. Huh? Yeah. When I was younger, I learned that you can say, yeah, what you say? And the whole conversation can go and you ain't got to hear nothing they said. I was wrong for it.
That's something else, yeah.
I'm like, see? And the conversation can go.
That's crazy.
But now I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah. I can't imagine somebody doing that to me. Are you hearing me? Yeah.
Yeah.
What I just said.
Yeah, but I think, first off, like I said, I'm happy y'all made it through. It sounded like the hardest time was during your program. You said during the master's program, it got a little shaky.
It did get a little shaky, but I definitely wouldn't say that it's the hardest times. It's just most recently.
You just opened up we got a few more minutes. So this is the next question. What's the hardest time in y'all relationship? Mm-hmm. How did it affect y'all? Mm-hmm. And how did y'all survive it?
The hardest time in our relationship was when Xavier's brother, Joanne, passed away. Yeah. That was a stressful time. So when we got back together in April of that year. Joanne passed away in June. So we didn't have a whole bunch of time in between. I remember that exact day and how it went down. We was arguing before it happened. Oh. So we had gotten an argument about my parents were getting ready to go through a divorce. And he was making jokes about it. And I wasn't feeling it. Like, bro, this is not cool. I'm not feeling it. And we got off the phone angry. Well, I was angry. I don't know how he felt, but we got off the phone. We was angry. And I went to sleep that night. We didn't talk. And he's blowing my phone up. And I'm like, man, whatever. Blowing him off. And then he sent me a text. And I just jumped out the bed and, go and handle that. But from then on, I knew him to be so kind, so caring and loving. And I feel like it was night and day. And rightfully so, he's going through something. And so his demeanor was completely different than anything I ever known from him. I felt like he was a lot more mean, a lot more just really mean to me. It was very hard, like talking to him. He felt like I wasn't supporting him, and I never experienced that. So I'm doing the best that I can without being in your face. I'm trying not to do too much. And that was probably the hardest time ever in our relationship, and just trying to bounce back from that. And we couldn't.
Was that a time where, cause that sucks. Was that a time where you question maybe this ain't gonna work, or maybe you're not gonna make it through this?
Yeah. I definitely, I question that often. Like, not even are we gonna make it through it, but maybe we just not meant for each other. Maybe that first run was it. Maybe we need to go our separate ways, because I didn't like who he had turned into, but everybody around me was like, he's going through something, be a little bit more patient. It's like, but this is hard for me to deal with. Like, I don't like this energy.
He's going through something, but at the same time, he's putting you through something.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so I don't think we really recovered until years later. And then years came and Noah passed away. And it was like all that came back up. Now, he wasn't as mean, but I started to get a little anxiety. Like,
that had to be scary for you.
How to deal with it, because he felt like I wasn't supportive, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, you know? So it really put me in like a tricky place. I don't know how to be there for you. What I did last time wasn't enough. I don't know if you're going to be mad at me again. I don't know if you're going to be angry towards me. I just didn't know how to deal with it. And I would say Noah's passing wasn't as hard as Jawan's, but the passing of his brothers were the hardest times in our relationship.
Yeah. I can imagine. Especially, 'cause I've lost siblings.
Yeah.
But that first time around, it don't get easier, but after the first one, I think, say, you start losing people, it kind of makes you say this is a part of life.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. It actually started to scare me how numb he started to grow, because in between Juwan's passing and Noah's passing, there were so many other passings, but it was less tears, less emotion with each one. And it's like, are you there? Like, hello, you know, you're starting to change. And I don't want to tell him like, hey, you're changing, because obviously, yeah, you are. You're going through a lot. So of course you're going to change.
But if you say it, then
I don't want to trigger him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm just watching him become this whole different person. And it's like, you're not the same person that I once knew. And now I got to learn you all over again. And what if it don't go well for both of us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I understand.
So how we came out of that is Xavier's ideology is we got a kid together and we gonna make it work.
That's it.
Even if it's times in which I have felt like I'm done with this. I can move on and we can just take care of our kids together. You can go your way, I go my way.
He was checked out.
Yeah. And so he was like, you ain't going nowhere. I'll show you I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna get out of here. And he just constantly reiterated that, look, we have a family. We started this family together and we need to figure it out. And I slowly began to believe, okay, yeah, we do have a family and let's figure it out.
That's what's up. Yeah. I'm happy y'all made it through there.
Yeah.
So, a few questions before we end the episode.
Okay.
So after this episode, after we've been talking.
Yeah.
What is something you feel going back that y'all can work on?
I think I'm gonna go back and ask him all them questions that you brought to my attention. I will go back and ask him, do you feel heard? Do you feel like I'm attentive to your needs? And things like that, because I am in constant go mode and all I can see is what I need to get done. I don't see what you feel. Do you feel neglected? Do you feel left out? You know, things like that. And so just really having a serious conversation and hoping he's honest about it and not just like, yeah, you're good, you know, because he does it a lot like, you're okay. You're okay.
And I think when you ask him, if he says, no, everything's okay, cat.
Okay. So when I leave for 6 months, you're going to be good? It's going to be okay?
Well, you know, if you leave for 6, that's a long time. But if you leave for 6 months, you got to sit. That's different when it's the military involved because that's part of, he signed up for that.
Yeah.
As far as the question, as far as your relationship, do you feel heard and stuff?
Yeah.
I think that's important. I'll also say, I'm going to ask, are you in a place to where if he's honest, you can receive it?
Yeah, I've actually been waiting for a moment for him to give me some feedback. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of times he just is like, nah, we're good. And I would appreciate to hear some criticism.
Yeah. Because I could say, speaking as a guy, most guys, when we say, nah, we good, mm-hmm. we're not. 99%, 99.9 it's not. It's just there's that fear of not being heard. Yeah. It's if I bring it up,
is it gonna be conflict?
Now there's more on top of what I already feel is it. So
I want to so bad say that's annoying, but I'm the same way. So I get it. Like
it is annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying that, you know, we do that.
Yeah.
Especially, in a relationship, especially somebody, your family, I think we got to get to a point where we understand we can be honest, not like it, and still love each other and be there. And I think that's a fear that people have.
Yeah.
And I think in time, people slowly drift in different directions. It's all the little unsaid things. They start adding up. And then you look up and y'all in a space and y'all don't even know how y'all got there.
Yeah.
And he or she may not even really be able to explain how it got there. But it could have started off something as small as when you get up from the table, you don't put your dish away. You expect me to do it. Something that simple can start building the, I'm not appreciated here.
Yeah.
And then you start looking for things.
Yeah.
He didn't put the plate away.
Yep.
He just gets in the bed and not help me here.
Yep.
Or the other way. Comes to you saying, yep. So the other way.
Yeah.
Where being honest, it can be, she walked out to work and didn't say, I love you. She came back in and checked on the kids and went straight to work without checking on me. Or she got mad at me because I wanted her attention. That stuff. And then you start looking for things.
Yep.
And now that them things, which if you don't speak on it, if you speak on it, you can kind of hash it out. You might be mad. I'm busy.
Yeah.
And then later on you process and it come back like maybe I wasn't.
Yeah.
But if you don't speak on it, then you start looking for everything that says she's not attentive to you. And then you start you create them.
Yep.
Or you create scenarios because it's in your head so you can say she's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not relationships. I think you going back and having that conversation with them.
Yeah.
Like, you're a trained killer. Make them have the conversation with you. I keep saying that, but I should be saying, you know how to drop the missiles or something. But on the other end, I think that conversation is you asking him that and he being able to open up. But you also, the things that you need.
Yeah.
It can't, like I said, I never say one way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe one night, if you feel like, and only you know this fully, that maybe I've neglected him, being so focused on what I'm doing to where I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Then maybe yes, and maybe tonight or whenever, have a conversation where focus on that.
Yeah.
And then next time y'all have a conversation, check in on it. I say check in if things better. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is what I feel.
Okay.
Just slowly get on that same page.
Yeah.
And be that, that role model relationship that the kids need to see as they come up.
Yeah.
Because we know we don't want the kids to
Absolutely.
only see, the negatives or and they end up in them same situations.
Yeah, that's very important to me. So I definitely will keep that in my back pocket.
Cool. Well, this is a good conversation. I know you're nervous at first.
I was nervous, but I don't know. As soon as you started asking me about the military, that was easy. So.
Oh, so I want y'all, both of y'all, to be here one day.
Yeah.
Just in case y'all punk out of the conversation, sit y'all down and look.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Y'all don't lie to me because I'm going to call Cat.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down with that.
I think so. I think relationships, I think there should be, they always talk about date night and all that. I think there should always be at least once a month, 2 if possible, but y'all pretty busy, a date night.
Yeah.
Date night ain't just about eating. It's the real check-in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's easy to check in when you eat.
When you're feeling good.
Yeah, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
You're getting food. You out. You having fun.
Yeah.
It's easier to have those conversations.
Yeah.
They're not as hard as having them after an argument or after.
Yeah, those are important.
It don't work. Then it's all y'all debating and trying to see who's right or who's wronger. So, well, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
It's been fun. Got to come back.
Yes.
Y'all both got to sit there.
Yeah.
We got to at least check in to make sure y'all straight, which I think y'all is. You know,
Yeah.
you militant.
Yeah.
Y'all, if y'all can get through tragedy and families and stuff, y'all can survive that. You can survive anything. Those are literally the hardest times for people.
Yeah.
So, y'all got this.
Okay.
All right, cool.
I'm going to go home and tell me you said that.
Yeah, you got it. All right, thanks for coming. Y'all, thanks for watching. This is James, Truth in the Trenches, and y'all be good.